Hello guys, welcome to this particular session of this video. In this video, we are going to learn how to delete a particular content, because our aim goal is actually to when we click on a particular to delete a particular row, I can say a particular row of this of our table, we can delete particular content. Because if I click on this delete, nothing is actually happening here, but we're able to learn how to do for that of the update and how to add tags on this. So that's basically what we are going to do, and we are going to wrap up this of our creating a task manager site. So it's going to be similar to this of the update tags, the update function that we have here, but we're going to begin with this URL because we want to actually go to a particular URL. We want to actually get the content that when we specify that of the ID, that a content I can see the row that had that particular index that we set. So it's going to be similar to this of this. So we're going to just copy it, and so we're going to paste it here. It's going to that of the, remember that this str hyphen pk, this stands for primary key. This str, this entirely, this anchor bracket with this str and pk signify that we are going to, after we go to this slash delete, then Django is expecting us to input a string, and we're expecting to input a string like when we do. So it's going to be something like slash word delete slash Django is expecting us to put a particular I can say a particular content extra, I can say a particular words, because this is actually string. In case you're interested in number, you can put that of the int here. So this is just like we're going to create a function that is going to be called delete, and then we're going to call it out of the delete page. You can see to this point we have seen the advantage of making use of the setting name here, because without setting the name here, in the near future when we later delete this, or we change it to something like delete 2, you can see that it's going to, if we are making it, we set this URL, so we are going to have issue, but making it just only the name, we can definitely make use of this URL without changing the name. That's one of the advantages of setting this name here. So since we have, when we go to this site, we want to run a views.delete, and we need to actually create that of delete function. So it's basically going to be simple. This about is not actually we're not using it to anything, but let's just leave it. But even say, so we're going to call it what delete, like the name, we call it, we set it, so it's going to be request. Remember that we're going to, when we go to that of the, which is this, so we'll go to this URL and we set a particular, now our case we're still going to set a number which is going to be 1, and that 1 is going to be mapped out to each of the ID that holds a particular role of the content. So it's going to, inside this of our view, we need to actually pass that of the extra parameter that we specify. Let's say in a situation where we came here and say something like 1, so that 1 is going to be gotten by this of the delete function. So when we said that, the next we are basically going to do is this request is the first we are going to put, and the pk just signify that this is going to hold out of the extra value. If you're in a situation where we are trying to put something like, let's say in a situation where we go to this of the 1, so this one is going to be assigned out of the pk. Hope it's not how to understand. So next we are going to do similar thing to for this of the update that here. Since we are trying to, let's just copy this, it's going to be a little bit similar. So it's going to be elim task. So this one, let's say we set, so it's going to be as if we are saying id is going to be equals to 1. So next we are going to check is that we are going to check if the request is that of the post or a get method. So we can say if the request that was being sent by a user get request, but in our situation we're interested in that of the post request. So we're going to see what post, when you make a post request is basically when you maybe send information to a server, or just simple, that is not a simple explanation. So when we send the information to a server or to a website, so we want to actually grab that data you sent and then want to delete it. So basically it's going to be this of the element that we created, which is hold this. As if we are going to get it, this element is going to hold a particular row of our data. You can see inside this of our, let's say as me is hold this entire row, which is this of the, can say let's say this row 2 data is going to hold it, and then want to delete it. So we're going to be this of the element or what delete. This is one of Django commands, just simple as that. And then when we are done deleting, we need to actually redirect somebody that made the post to home post, so home or the root URL. So you can just say redirect to root page. You can say I remember that root page is this guy entirely. So you need to actually, when somebody selected a particular row, let's say you selected this row 2, we also want to actually display that content that you selected on that on our one of our, we are going to create a delete .html file on this of our file. So no need to want to actually display that content you selected. So we don't want to be all this information to display. We just want that particular information that you are interested in deleting. So, and this will return direct. So this is actually handling for with the method. It was actually a post request. So the next one we are going to do is actually to create a contest. You can say contest. So it needs to be, let's say tags. What we want to do is that when we get to be stored there, so we need to actually let only that information to actually show. So you're going to hear that of the element. So we are going to return. Okay, let me just copy this guy. That's basically going to be similar. And paste. This is return. So it's going to be delete.html. Delete.html. So I want to do some tasks and create that file. So it's going to be delete. There was html, just as that. So in this of delete.html, that's where we're going to get the content that's been gotten by this element. You can say, so not this element variable element, and that to name it anything of your choice. It's going to be stored, giving a key, which is this task, and this is where it's going to be stored, and we are going to move it over here. Delete.html. This is our delete.html. This is where we're going to display that of the content, and then we can let somebody actually view it. So let's go to this of our, if we are to go to, let's say delete, as of now nothing is going to really happen much. You can see nothing is going to really happen much, but we are not getting any error because let's go to our /word delete /1. You can see we went to that of the delete, we didn't get any error because our URL pattern was successfully matched. But since on this of our current HTML structure, there's nothing that we displayed on it. So want to do is actually let the content to actually display, and the content I want to actually display here is going to be that of the content that somebody actually want to do. I want to actually the content that somebody set the ID. So to do this is basically simple. We're going to say HTML. What is come on, it's not time to say HTML5. So here is going to be delete on our tags, just simple as that. So the next we want to actually do is actually to set that of our form, and actually to let somebody actually display the text that somebody want to actually delete. So we can say that of the tags, because this task was name we gave, this was the key we gave. So it's going to be, let's actually say tags content, just simple as this. Let me go back, reload this page. You can see task content, you can see task content. No, this is not what we want. I want to put this of our percentage sign, which actually put the percentage sign to get the task content. Okay, let's go back. You can see drink water 1 updated. We successfully were able to, by making use out of the ID to get out of the content. You can see drink water 1 updated. Simple as that. Drink water 1 updated. If I go to set to here, okay, let's run this. Okay, sorry, this supposed to be 2. You can see drink water 2 updated. So we're able to successfully display it on the screen. So they also want to let user to actually make sure that I want to actually put a yes or no options. So to do this, we are going to, let's put this in our, let's put a h1 tag here. Let's make it a little bit bold. It's going to be h1 tag. So we're going to move this to this of the h1 tag. So we want to actually let someone that's entering it to be sure that you want to actually delete that content. So we can say, are you sure you want to delete So we can make this a shape, put a strong, I can say strong. Let me copy this, put it inside of here. It's just simple as that. So let's go back, load this. Can see, are you sure you want to delete June quarter 2 updated? So let's just put a question mark. So I'm still going to style this a little bit more, so you can start to put a question mark if you feel interested in doing so. Want to delete this particular content. So in a situation whereby somebody is not interested in deleting that of the content, we can create an anchor tag that you can see a link that you will direct somebody back to our home page when somebody click on it. So we're going to see our link tag. So simple. Then what we are going to do here is just try to let somebody, when somebody click on this of our link tag, and direct somebody back to our home page. So we are going to put our 2% sign. We are going to say URL. We have actually done similar thing earlier, so it's going to be on our home page. So we want to go back to our home page, just simple as that. When you click on this, we are going to go back to our home page. You can give it a button, so we can give it a class. Let's say the class will be btn cancel. BTN. Remember that on a default, Django tends to make use of Bootstrap 2 to make the structure a little bit beautiful. I'm going to give it a test cancel. So what's actually cancel? What's actually happening here is that when somebody click on this cancel, this cancel is going to be a test which is going to have a button cancel, and then when you click on it, it's going to direct you to this home page. Remember that this is the name we gave our home page. You can see our root directly. So let's go back, refresh this. No reverse match delete 2. We are getting this error, no reverse match or delete 2. What is this problem? Okay, this supposed to be a string here. So let's go back, reload this. You can see I actually want to delete June quarter 2 updated. You can hit on cancel, you direct it back to that of the home page. Also, we want to actually create a form. So let's know that I want to make a push request. So we can set our form and the action that I want to set on it. We're going to leave that of the action. So the next we want to do is actually to set the method. When you click on it, it's going to actually set the method, which is we're going to set it to that of the post method. So next we want to, let me just bring this guy down. Next we want to actually set it that of the CSRF token. This guy is really useful to set extra layer of security to your form. So it's going to be CSRF underscore token. Simple as that. We're going to set that of the input. To set out of the input, we are going to set the type to be a submit, and then we're also going to set the value. I'm going to set the value to be what? Delete, and then we're also going to give it a class. Let's give it a class. We're going to call it what? btn what? Delete. Just simple as this. Is that a word set our very useful, nothing really much we did here. So let's go back to our reload it. You can see delete. It's going to be a button delete. It's going to be you can see that it got deleted. When we click on this delete, but let's say we're interested in deleting this. Let me add extra content so we can do that. Let me just say added content, and then hit on add as. You can see added content was here, and this was actually to say what slash delete /5, and then here you can see I actually want to delete added content. I hit on delete, it's going to delete, and that added content is gone. You can see how simple this was actually to see. If the method was actually a push request, it's going to get it and then it's going to delete it. But now the problem is that I only have to select the go to the path fully. Meanwhile, I need to actually click on this delete for it to actually happen. You can see to do this is basically simple. We're going to go to our home HTML. This is where the magic lives. So we're going to do similar to, we're just going to copy this completely. Let me just replace it. So we're going to run that of the delete. Is actually delete. So you can see how simple this is. The reason why I was able to do something, okay, let me just close this. This we're able to do something similar to that of the updates, update link. All this is guys are inside of the for loop. So what we actually did, we want to run this URL, and then the extra parameter is we're going to give it is going to be that of the task ID. Since when we say task.id, like how we did here, task.id is going to get that of particular task ID, is going to assign it, and then it's going to, as if we're setting, we're trying to say, where is that of the URL? We're going to say update/1, update/2, update/3. It's going to set each of the URL automatically. Hope that is not hard to understand. So let's rerun this page, and then let's go to this number 3. You can see we're able to go, and then it's going to fill up this of our URL. The URL is going to be set automatically, and then it's going to be, when you click on it, it's going to fill it up automatically for you. So you can click on cancel, you can click on delete. So I can just cancel. So next thing we want to do is actually to beautify, because when you come to this chapter, it's not looking really good. So I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to add some CSS styling to make it a little bit nicer. This is our delete. The HTML are going to be on top of here. I'm going to add it. What we need to actually do, we need to actually move all this into a div tag. So let me just move it. You can see a div tag. So let me just move all these guys into there, so I can easily style them. So I can say div tag, move it over to here, and we're going to give it a class. So the class, we can call it content. Just simple as that. So I just copy that of the, let me just tap this a little bit inside, tap it inside. So let me just paste that of the styles that I copied earlier. You can see I just give the body this font family, background, margin, not really much I added there, and that of the content that we created, which is inside the class. It does signify this is a class. We'll give it a margin, background, padding, border radius, border shadow, text alignment, center, and h1 is that of this guy, h1 tag. I usually want to delete social content, and then the button class, which is the btn cancel, hover, btn delete, and not really more. This just basic CSS styling, not really. So let's go back and see this. The styling took effect. You can see I usually want to delete this new content. You can see the content. In case you're interested in actually beautifying it more, you can go ahead. In case if you're interested in beautifying it more, let's say I want to delete this particular content. You can see I usually want to delete this job which was being highlighted properly. You can start to click on cancel. You can start to click on delete. When you click on delete, it's gone. Let me just, can click on update. You can see updated. You can see, I got updated. You can see how simple this was actually to do. This ID here, you can see that it's messing up our things up, messing up our structure up. You can decide to come to this of the home.html. This home.html, you can neglect it, you can remove it, simple as that. When I remove it, go back, refresh the page. Why is this issue? Okay, tags. Sorry, did I do? Such a no, this is supposed to be somewhere here. Yeah, this table data. I can decide to remove it entirely. You can see it's gone. You can see I can actually remove this ID for it to look properly aligned. You can see it's gone. In case you're not interested in also getting that of the ID, you can try to remove it, because at times it can mess up a whole lot of, because when you delete a particular content from a database, the ID also goes with it, unless you have to actually refresh that on the database to get all the ID aligned back again. You can see this. With this, we have come to the end of this Django tutorial by creating this simple task manager. You can start to add more and more tasks. Let's add more tasks. I can see this is can say end of Django YouTube tutorial. I can say attack. I can say end of Django YouTube tutorial. This white T stands for YouTube, so let me just update it. Can also be YouTube, just simple as that, and hit on update. You can see you got to update here. So if you are new to Django, if you are new to web development in Python, this journal is going to give you a little bit overview on how it works. We're able to cover a whole lot of things, like that of the forms, the models, the which is this mini form here. So able to look at that of the settings, the URL, the WSGI, that of the admin apps for model, views the py, and that of how to make it, or that of the database. You can see this gives you a whole lot of overview on how Django works. So in our next video on Django, make use of Django to create a website. What we are basically going to do is actually to create a blog site where someone can create where you can post your own content, and people around can also post, and then we can tend to view each other content, like how you see on that of the Facebook, how you see on YouTube, and a whole lot of big sites out there where somebody you can interact and send a friend request to somebody, send messages, and then a whole lot of other things that comes out with it. It's going to be really simple. I'm going to try my best to make it simple the way what I did it. So if you are, before you dive into that, make sure to watch this series, so it's not be for you to understand that particular series, because for a beginner Django can be a little bit tricky at times. So this is the end for this Django series. My case of creating this of task manager guide that is here. And right now we can delete and update, because this was already big guide that gave us problem, and then working with database was another problem we actually faced, but it was not really hard for us to actually overcome it. So I'll be able to see in our future videos my case of Django. Thank you for watching.